It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Greetings, this is Spec Ops 56, and welcome to this very special beer review. Today we're going to finally be reviewing and taste testing our first homebrew beer, the Shadow Nose Evil Porter. Now this is also going to serve as the final update on the problems that we had with our homebrew. If you'll remember, we had originally a problem with the homebrew not carbonating. It was flat as a pancake when we first tried it. Well, what I ended up doing is taking it out, letting it room condition for a few weeks longer, and it's been a few weeks since then, even in the refrigerator. So we had tested it earlier for carbonation, and it did carbonate. It carbonated very lightly, which is the proper level for this type of beer, a porter. And so now we're going to do a taste test and review of our very first home brew. So first of all, as you can see, the label and inkjet printer ink that I used didn't hold up very well when the bottle gets wet. So just ignore that. It's what's inside that matters. As you can see, we did get some carbonation, and we got a little bit of head, just the right amount for this type of a beer. All right, John. It did come out a nice dark brown, and I'm not going to bother with trying to show you the color, but you really couldn't see through it. So let's give it a sniff test.
I smell bourbon off the bat.
Bourbon. I smell malt sweetness.
Oh yes.
I smell a little bit of vanilla, but not a lot.
Shall we give it a shot? Mm.
Oh yeah.
Smooth.
I'll let you go first with your impressions.
Well, it's smooth. Like I said, I smell the bourbon and I tasted it. A little bit of vanilla on the back end, and that's it. It was good.
That's it. Yep. I got the bourbon, followed by the malty sweetness, with just a hint of the vanilla at the very end. Can't really taste any of the honey, and I didn't really expect to since I screwed that up. But it is very smooth and very drinkable. I think we have both agreed that this is a beer that you would want to drink on a hot summer day.
Yes.
You got done, doing your yard work, working in the garden. Because though it has a 6.5% alcohol by volume, you really don't taste the alcohol. And it's a very light taste, but it's a very good taste.
Most enjoyable.
When we brewed this, the original intention was for it to be a honey vanilla porter. Because of mistakes that I made, it turned out not to be. Instead, it has turned into something that's more like a bourbon barrel aged vanilla porter. The bourbon flavor is very upfront, but it blends very well with the other flavors.
Done good. I can't put any addition to it. It turned out great for the problems we had with it. It turned out rather well.
And the carbonation level on it is perfect. I mean, you know, we dodged the bullet and lucked out because I was afraid, you know, we were going to have to do something drastic with this.
Yeah.
And I will also say that in the weeks since we first tasted it, you know, when it was still flat, and then we tasted it again a few weeks ago when we were checking it for carbonation, it has changed its character completely.
Yes, it has.
It has really mellowed out, and the whole thing is mellowed out, and all the flavors just really complement one another. Now, while we are biased, okay, since this is our homebrew, I think I can say we're both very pleasantly surprised with how it turned out.
Yes.
So
it was scary there for a while.
Geist, Hancock Brewer, start watching your mail. Start watching for the UPS man, because I will be sending you your bottle of beer on its way as soon as I can. And I expect to see a video taste test and review of it. I really want to get your opinions. And speaking of other unbiased opinions, I promised that we would get some guest reviewers to do some unbiased taste tests and reviews of our homebrew, and that's just what we've done. So we'll take you now to the do-it-yourself homebrew and our guest reviewers. Okay, greetings. This is Spec Ops 56, and we're here at the Do-It-Yourself Brew House. I promised you an unbiased guest review of my and John's homebrew beer, so that's why we're here. This is JP, this is Jake, this is Rick, and they're going to taste it here in a moment, and they're going to give you their unbiased opinion of my very first beer, which is supposed to be a vanilla honey porter, but turned out to be more of a bourbon porter. So without further ado, you guys taste it, review.
All right, let's bust it open.
Cool. If I can operate the equipment, we'll be good to go. Oh, want a nice picture?
Sure you will.
Oi.
Bottle opening. Maybe not closing, but opening.
All right.
I don't put top back on.
Huh?
Oh, that's carbonated good.
Okay, we can pause.
Yeah.
Okay, go. One for you,
All right.
and one for you, and one for me.
Well, it's got a nice color. Smells good.
Smells good.
It does.
A little light, but I like it.
It's got a real sweet taste, like a raisin almost, or a plum.
I can see where he's coming with the bourbon part.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be what you try, but the product's not bad.
Yeah. Actually, I like this.
I like bourbon beers. So.
If it
I
had
do too.
I think that the vanilla's giving it a little sour taste at the back.
Just a little bit. I
But
mean, not-
other than that, I'm not a big vanilla guy, but I think it's good. It's carbonated the way it's supposed to be. It's got a good color.
It does.
works for me.
Goes
Goes down
good flavor.
smooth.
Jake's going for round 2, so it must be okay. That's nice.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
it's
porters
not bad at all, yeah.
are heavier than this.
Mm-hmm. Thicker.
Yeah.
I like it.
And,
Well, this is my first homebrew. I have to say that
I like it.
I'm pleased with the way it came out. I was afraid because we had a problem with it not carbonating,
which is,
and
that was a
it turned
weird-
out that it just needed more time to bottle condition.
It's kind of interesting, really.
And
Well,
And it's
while,
light.
while the flavor is not
Wouldn't
what I
kill you in the summer
expected, it is
drinking
better
color
than
Very
I
good.
expected.
I like the flavor. I mean, really.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear
It tastes
that.
good.
I'm really glad to hear
That's
that.
not bad. That's an easy drinking beer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, this is kind of semi-dangerous because it goes down pretty damn quick. You know.
That's a good beer after a hot day working in the yard.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
summer beer.
That's
Yeah.
just what we thought.
Which is weird because you'd think it would be heavy because it's so dark and it is a port, but it's
I don't know.
it's
It's like black lager.
yeah.
Yeah, I would go
Like a
more
black
of a black
lager.
lager than a
Yeah.
porter.
Well,
Yeah.
it came out to 6.5% ABV.
Or real,
So,
a real,
Can't go wrong with that either.
Or like
I
a
thought
brown
that
ale.
was just what I was shooting for.
even a brown ale. Even a
Huh.
brown.
I don't know. This is more like I like the black lager sound.
That's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll tell you this, to me it tastes better than the old, what was it that had, who makes Fat Tire?
Oh, that type. No. Sierra Nevada.
Sierra
Yeah.
Nevada.
I think it's better than Sierra Nevada's black lager. How's
Oh,
that?
great.
Yeah. That's good. Thumbs up.
I appreciate that.
Burn the factory, buy it handmade.
Okay. You've seen it, real, live, unbiased reviews. So turns out we didn't do so bad.
Oh, want a close up on that?
This is,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
tasty.
I'm afraid these labels that I use, they don't work too well when it gets wet.
That's tasty.
So-
Thank you.
This is Spec Ops 56 and John saying thanks for watching the review, and we'll let you know about our next homebrew when we get to it. Spec Ops 56 saying over and out.